Welcome to Raising Kings 2022, live from McCain High School. Make some noise for yourselves. Yeah, I love that young energy right there. Today we're discussing Rise. The theme of today is Rise of the New Kings. In its 10th year, Raising Kings, founded by Chandra Pitts and One Village Alliance, seeks to redefine what it means to be a king with the theme of today, Rise of the New Kings. Raising Kings is a platform that preaches success and teaches healthy manhood through exposure and education. Also want to give a big shout out to Delaware Humanities and the Red Clay School District for all their help in putting this event together today. Before we start our discussion though, we have a special introduction for this Raising Kings 2022 by a multi-platinum Bad Boy Records hitman, producer, drummer, educator, motivational speaker, and author, Antoine Amadeus Thompson.
Peace and blessings, young kings, raising kings, to my brother Chuck Creekmer of allhiphop.com. It's an honor, it's a privilege to have this opportunity to speak before you young kings. My name is King Amadeus, and I'm a multi-platinum Bad Boy Hitman producer, blessed to produce for over 100 artists. Just to name a few: J-Lo, French Montana, Wiz Khalifa, Dave East, Young M.A., Chris Brown, CeeLo Green, Danny D. Kane, Justin Bieber. Do a lot of film scoring and scoring for ESPN First Take, Sprite, BET, VH1. The list goes on and on and on and on. Also, Trey Songz is music director, tour drummer. Been in position with him for the last 15 years, touring the entire world, all of Europe, Japan, Australia, Africa, all of the United States of America, and much more. Also, Dre's Nightclub, which is the #1 nightclub in Las Vegas, on the Las Vegas Strip, #1 hip-hop nightclub in Las Vegas on the Strip. I am the resident drummer there. Now, if you know, which you probably don't know because you're youngins, you're young kings, but normally artists, DJs, comedians, magicians are ones to have residencies in Las Vegas. So I honestly can say that I humbly have made history by becoming one of the first drummers to have a residence in Las Vegas. So also a music educator, motivational speaker, and now new author of my new book, The Story of Amadeus and the Beat Goes On, which I'm very, 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 very extremely proud of, and we'll talk about that a little later. But just to kind of give you my story in a nutshell, I'm from the Bronx, the Boogie Down, the home of where hip hop was birthed. Grew up in the projects, the hood, the bottom, 169th Street, Washington Avenue to be exact. You can definitely look it up. They call my hood, my block, the 9. I picked up the drumsticks for the first time in fourth grade. I attended a school called St. Augustine School of the Arts in the Bronx, where you were actually forced to choose to learn a musical instrument. I had an option between violin and percussion. Didn't know what percussion even meant, but one thing I definitely wasn't going to do was choose the violin. Bad enough I already had to walk through the hood, dressed up, suit, tie, shoes, slacks, all of that. Wasn't cool, definitely was laughed at, definitely was mocked. So I didn't choose the violin, I chose percussion. Percussion has everything to do with rhythm, so drums, congos, bongos, the wood block, everything that creates rhythm, everything that creates drums. Sat down at the drum set for the first time, fourth grade, never touched drums ever in life, was able to play every pattern my teacher played and performed, and that was when I noticed and learned that I had something very unique and special, and that gift was me being a musician. Fast forward, again, I grew up in the hood, so I was surrounded by negativity, I was surrounded by drugs, I was surrounded by violence. And I looked at the corner boys and thought that was definitely the route that I wanted to take. Not really knowing what they were doing on the corner. I just knew that as they stood on the corner, they looked very appealing, very swagged out. They had all the flyest gears. They had all the clothes and the whips. And, the young ladies would pull up and hang out with them. And I just swore that that's what I was supposed to be in life. But I had parents that actually cared and loved me to say that's not where you want to be. If it's music, do music. And I can honestly sit here and say that today, music has saved my life and has allowed me to produce again for over 100 artists, tour almost the entire world with Trey Songz, playing some of the biggest arenas in the world, Madison Square Garden a few times, the Barclays Center, Staples Center, all over Europe. And it's a blessing. And I must say that it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It took a lot of hard work. It took, people that didn't believe in me, that said no, that didn't want to open up those doors for me to let me in. So I had to figure out a way to kick those doors down. So I'm here today to just encourage you as young kings. I know it's definitely difficult growing up in these times. There's a lot of negativity that surrounds you. There are a lot of challenges that surround you. Same that, that surrounded me, but I feel like you guys have it so much worse. The drugs, the gangs, women, and all of the things that can allow you to be distracted from your dreams and what you want to accomplish in life. So I'm just calling and reaching out and sending this video to just show you love and to show you that, that there are people out here that are successful, that do care about you, care enough to stop what they're doing to share and shed light on how to become great and to be successful. I look just like you. I am you. I bleed just like you. I stink just like you. We're all human. I'm just one individual, one young king that decided that I wasn't going to be a statistic. I wasn't going to be dead. I wasn't going to be in jail. I wasn't going to be in a corner, but I was going to be successful. And I am that today by the grace of God, by the support, love and support by my parents, my bishop and my pastor that has passed on and went on to heaven. Rest in peace, Pastor Bishop Michelle White. But I'm here today. So you can do it just like how I'm doing it. You can do it just like how Chuck is doing it. And that is my big brother. Chuck is one of my heroes. I grew up watching and viewing allhiphop.com, and one of my dreams came true. And that's being featured in hiphop.com, allhiphop.com, not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Chuck for being a visionary and believing in you young kings and wanting to push and push you guys into greatness and push you guys into excellence. You can do each and every single thing you want to do. You can live each and every single dream that you've dreamt in life. When God has blessed you with these dreams that you dream at night, when you lay down, it's not just for you to lay down and have these dreams and do nothing. It's about waking up that next day and figuring out a way how to make that dream your reality. And that's what I've done. That's what Chuck's done. And that's what we're encouraging you to do. God has blessed each and every single one of you young kings with God-given gifts and talents. And those talents are to be used to be a blessing to yourself and around the world. You can take care of you, your kids, by moving right and moving righteous and doing the right thing. And you know what I mean? So much love to you, much success to you. Again, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very difficult. I've been challenged in many ways. Just was challenged during the pandemic to not be able to do what I love and tour and work and perform and hit the studio. I had to stay home, and be quarantined amongst my family. And it was a very difficult time for everyone. But during that difficult time, during that time of challenge, during that time of not being able to do what I love, which is perform, I was able to take my pain and turn it into a gift that I can share with the entire world. And that's the story of Amadeus and The Beat Goes On. So it's out now, it's available. I'm so proud of it. We just did an interview on allhiphop.com with my brother Chuck. That'll be out soon. But again, anything you want to do in life, you can do. You have to believe, you have to hustle, you have to work hard, you have to shoot in the gym, you have to practice, you have to have faith in yourself that you can do anything you want to do in life. I'm proud of you all. I'm proud of the progress that all of you guys have made. There's so many decisions and directions you could have went in, but you're moving forward and you're moving in the right direction. And again, I'm proud of you and definitely looking forward to the day where I can come and greet you properly, come greet you in person, and we can exchange that love and positive energy and give you them daps and them hugs, and love and support, man. So much love to you guys. We raising kings out here. And we believe in you guys, and we know that you guys are kings and will be great. You have no choice but to be great, surrounded by great kings like my brother Chuck and, King Amadeus. So listen, you see my shirt? Be legendary. Shout out to Longwood Prep for lacing me with this right here. So I'm going to leave y'all with that, man. Be legendary, be great, be blessed, be safe, and listen, do your best to make the right decisions in life. It goes with you for the rest of your life. So make the right decisions. And I'm praying for you. Again, sending love and positive energy your way. Much love. Chuck, appreciate you, King. King Amadeus, signing off.
We thank you, man, for that great introduction, Amadeus, and all the big things that you're doing out there in the entertainment business world. We appreciate those words, and I'm sure the young people appreciate it too. But we're going to introduce our panel for today. We got some great men, kings in their particular fields. And we have a young king that's joining us today. First off, I want to introduce legacy leader and founder of allhiphop.com, Chuck Creekmer.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Also, this brother right here, he's doing big things. He's a boxer. He's also an artist. I don't know if everybody knows that he's an artist as well. He's doing big things. I'm talking about big productions, big things in the boxing world. It's a pleasure to have him today. We want to welcome Kai Shut It Down. Welcome to the panel today. This man right here, filmmaker, artist. He takes visuals. Him and his team's been taking visuals to the next level. They're all over the place, all over the world, international. I love watching this content. This brother is dope. We want to welcome Jet Phoenix. And we have a young brother, one of y'all very own, senior here at McCain High School. He's also part of the Born for Brothers program here at McCain High School. Y'all give it up for one of y'all own, Kyle Green. So fellas, we're gonna get right into it. How would you define being a king?
I mean, for me, it's being creative. You know, I feel like when you tap into the source, that's God, and God was the first creator. So for me, naturally, I want to tap into God's energy. So I want to be a creator myself. So that's how I live my life. So I define myself by inspiring others to be creators.
For me, I think it's about being your highest self, being someone that lives up to your fullest potential. And each stage of your life, obviously, your potential changes and you realize different things about yourself. But for me, I live limitless, and that takes time. I know that we're in front of a school of high school students, so right now you guys may not realize your potential, but I encourage you to really live a limitless life as quickly as you possibly can and understand that everything and anything is possible. And then there's another side to that as well. For me, being a king means assuming the responsibility wherever you are in life. If you have a child, or if you have a parent that's ailing, or a significant other in your life, you know, all the responsibilities that go with being a king. Being a king is not just putting a crown on your head or walking around like you're Mr. Big, but it's actually holding a world on your back and carrying that through your life.
Oh, what I think about is, I say family, because you need a family to be a king. You have to hold yourself to a certain regard, being inspirational. It really comes from the fact that if you're doing the right things and you're always doing the right things, good things happen, like good karma. So like being a king is like representing a people, and then being able to like understand that that's gonna make a mark. It's like leaving your stance. So like if you're a king, you gotta make sure that you're leaving your mark, or you're not a king to me, you know. Having a purpose, doing what's right. That's what being the king is.
What about you, Kyle?
Honestly, bro, committed to greatness, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a good answer,
Good
actually.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Committed to greatness. All right.
All right, so our theme is Rise of the New Kings. So who would we consider some of the new kings? And you can actually take this particularly to your field, your different perspective fields. Who are the kings in your fields?
For me, you know, I look at two of my biggest inspirations are Spike Lee and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he's been a king since he stepped on the court. Absolutely. And inspired a whole nation, a whole world really, to, you know, work harder. You could be something, you know, and push it to beyond limits, you know, and have that heart of a champion. And then there's Spike Lee for me. Spike, he has been able to take his camera and put it on our culture and kind of like show the world what our culture is going through situations from racial to like how we deal with each other, just our music and the way of our living. So for me, it's like them, and then I definitely gotta give my man Ye his props. You know, he definitely showed me a lot of stuff early in my career about just having ambition and believing in yourself. And I think that's the key thing of right now, and is hope. You know, hope is a thing that where I see in this world right now, we need more of it. We need more young kings step up and show that there's hope, and then you can strive and, you know, and create that through discipline. So yeah, I would say Spike, Jordan, and Ye. Yeah.
Nice.
I would say for me, first of all, I got to shout out my two best friends, Ken and Chris, because they two kings to me, and they keep me sharp. You know, iron sharpens iron. Yeah. From a cultural standpoint, I always, from a musical position, I look at Jay-Z as, you know, pretty much the king of all kings in the hip hop space. From a business perspective, artist perspective, he really paved the way where there wasn't one, and allowed a lot of people to follow in that blueprint. But there's a lot of others out here too. You know, it's not just about musicians or artists. I look at people from my everyday walk, and I really try not to lean too heavily on the entertainment, because a lot of that is an illusion. A lot of that is marketing and promotion. But I do look at Jay-Z as a business person when we're talking about the newer kings, as one of the guys that I look to for inspiration. Will Smith too, by the way.
Yeah. I would
Definitely
say,
Will Smith.
I would say that's
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there's
There's quite a few.
There's definitely
Nick Cannon.
Yup, there's some. Yeah.
I think for me it's anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like when I see somebody and they impress me, they're king to me. My friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I see them do amazing things, I'm like, man, all right, I gotta step it up. You know, I'm inspired by myself. I'm like, you did that, you know, giving myself my flowers. But then also realizing that it's another level I can get to. I try to take it day by day, not try to worry about what everybody else is doing, but look into myself to be a king and be an inspiration with my friends and my peers. And just when I meet people like Jet, like, okay, he's taking it there, we got to go there with it.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who's doing anything great is a king.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, that's mirroring that back to you. You know, just where we come from, you know, is shows that we can rise above all this, because, you know, a lot of people say Delaware and they don't really think of too many people, you know, but like you said, it starts with ordinary people.
Yeah.
You know, the people on the ground, the people at the, you know, just trying to make it through the day. Like, you're still a king, regardless of what kind of bag you got, what kind of drip you wearing, what kind of sneakers you got. It don't matter the way you look. It's the way you hold yourself. Your presence. One thing I always say is, like, your talent can take you far, but your character can mess everything up.
100%.
You know, it's something that we should note real quick, is that I just mentioned Jay-Z, but one of Jay-Z's right-hand men is Young Guru, straight from Delaware.
Straight from Delaware.
His engineer is straight from Delaware, and that's not just his engineer, that's his man.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that if you're a king, there's a lot of kings under that person that help that person be who they are.
Yeah.
And people like Guru, he's an engineer. There's a guy named Kodak, Lenny S, who's a photographer, but he's also multi hyphenate. That's what they call him. Tata, yeah.
Emory Jones.
Yeah, so he has a team. So
Bosses.
Right, of bosses, team of bosses.
I mean, the way he set up Meek, Bleak. You know what I'm saying? The way, and Meek too. I mean, both of them, Bleak and Meek. I mean, they both with Rock Nation too. So like, you can see all the way people moving right now. Like, it's like, you can, and that's the thing too. I always say, like, you could be kings amongst kings, because a lot of people think, like, okay, I can't rock with Jet because he's the king and I got to be in his shadow. No, you ain't. No, everybody on my team, we sit at a round table. You know what I mean? You're a king. Everybody on my squad are king. Yeah. I look at everybody equally. You know, and everybody gonna have their time to shine. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
I'm just fortunate enough that my guys believe in me. My man will make sure that my mask is right, my chain is right, I'm stepping on set right. You know what I'm saying? That makes him a king to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because only a king will do that for another king.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at the smaller details of things. You want to make sure everybody aligned and make sure everybody good, because if we all sitting at this table right here and maybe something wrong, he's got something wrong, we gotta make sure he right, because he's a reflection of all of us kings.
Absolutely.
We gotta stand together and be strong together. You know, a lot of time you always see somebody, you know, I see it in the youth a lot, where one guy he's got something, the other one's a little jealous, you know, and you shouldn't be jealous of your man. If your man winning, celebrate him, give him his flowers, let him know he winning. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how you could be blocking your blessing.
Yeah.
Because he might get to some level and then turn around and say, like, I'm gonna bless you. You know what I mean?
Happens every day.
Happens every day,
Happens all the time.
all the time, for real.
Happens all the time. Like, Lil Baby was on the Young Thug for a long time, and nobody knew who he was. He was in music videos. Nobody knew who he was. He was just rocking with his mans.
Yup.
Your opportunity will come if you're working hard. A king is like somebody who's grinding. That everyday grind. Like, success is not immediate. It doesn't just happen. You don't just fumble into some success. You gotta work, and some days it's bad days, and some days you might not think you're gonna get there, but you gotta persevere. You gotta have that resilience. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of times in my life where I felt like, yo, I don't know about this, but I had to, like, you know, really pray on it and get on my grind and just keep working hard for it. You know, and remembering why you doing it. So I think you can't think it's just gonna come, and you can't think it's gonna be straightforward. Like, you're gonna get better every day. Sometimes you're gonna get worse, and then you gotta get better the next day. You know, you can be knocked off your block plenty of times, but that's why you have to keep people around you that hold you high and see you in a certain way. I got friends, I got the best group of friends, man. Like, when I tell you, we talk to each other every day on the phone. We pushing each other to the next level every time. Do this better, do that better. We hold each other to a high standard. And I think that's a method that works for everybody. So when you say, like, Jay, and you the next Jay, and you the next Jay, you know, because if your team like that, the team like that. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta believe in you and what y'all doing. You know, so that's why I want to push. Let's work together type time. You know what I mean? Let's do it together.
Thanks.
Anything you want to chime in on that, Kyle?
About the king part, I ain't never really have a male figure, so I really honestly say my mom.
Okay.
I didn't see her really do something like, you know what I'm saying, bro, but that's my king, my mom.
Okay.
Ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. Ain't
Ain't
nothing wrong with that. Ain't
nothing
nothing wrong with
Not at
that.
all.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She's raising a king.
She raising
Right?
a
Because
king.
she gonna raise up. That's exactly. She gonna raise you to be a king.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna pass it on next to the younger kings after that.
In fact, by the way, the founder of this organization started raising kings because that's what she was doing. She was a single black woman raising a young king.
Yup.
Exactly. And just to piggyback off some of the stuff y'all said, I'm big on positive energy myself. So I need positive energy around me. You know, that's how in the space I am right now in my life, I need positive energy around me. That's how you bring up kings. And we're talking about rising of the new kings, but I have to give respect to those kings that came before us. You see the images of Martin Luther King around us. Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys, the Muhammad Ali's, so many people that came before us. It's Black History Month, even though we celebrate Black History all year round. But we just want to make sure that we pay homage and respect to all those people that laid the foundations for the little things that we have today, that we take for granted, that they didn't have years ago.
Facts.
And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to sit here right now free and doing a lot of things that we do. So we want to definitely pay homage to all those kings that came before us.
Definitely.
Laid the foundation. But we are in a social media era now. Everybody, all the young people, they got all the social media platforms. How do those images, whether it's positive or negative, how do those define us being kings, and how the kings are raised in these times?
I think it works two ways with social media. I think there's studies that show that it can actually be a detriment to your self-esteem and and how you feel about yourself. But if you use it right, it can be inspirational too. So the people I follow, for the most part, inspire me. You know, there's people in my field like Daquan Thomas and others who are doing incredible things in media. By the way, he runs Vibe magazine, and so when I see him doing well, it inspires me to do well. And then there's people that I follow that'll show up clip from Nipsey Hussle or Rick Ross or someone else or Denzel Washington, and they'll continually show clips of, you know, inspirational things. So I think that you have to use social media for good, or else it can be a time waster. You know, we're all masters of our crafts. I think that's all of us
Yes.
men on the stage are masters of our craft. You don't get that way scrolling all day. You don't get that way immersing your life in someone else's life. You get that way from doing your craft over and over and over and over and over again. Kind of how Beast Mode says, you know, you just got to keep banging. You know what I mean? So for me, that's just how I look at it. You know, social media wise, we have to continue to make sure that we don't become someone else's engine in their car. You know what I'm saying? Build your car and your engine.
I mean, you touched on it. I mean, like, I look at social media just like money. You know what I mean? Like, you can spend money for good things. Money can go in the wrong direction. So it's just like what you said. It's like, it's a platform to showcase your work and your creativity and what you're doing. You can use it for your leverage to go far and reach an audience all the way across the world. Like, let's talk about back in the day of our old kings. Like, to pick up a phone and do social media, it was almost like a miracle. You know what I mean? They would consider that a miracle if, like, somebody could talk to somebody way across the world. They were like, oh, that's magic, you know? Now we have this magic. So we have a responsibility with this phone, and we really want to be able to use it to the betterment of human race. Just human race, not just black, not just white, humans, you know, because at the end of the day, we're humans. You know, we want to stick to that formula and remind ourselves, like, this can inspire the world. And with that tool, because I consider it a tool, you know, I don't look at it as like, let me get on the gram type thing. Nah, this is a tool. This is for me to showcase my energy and what I'm doing and put people in position and let people know what I'm doing 24/7. But this tool is there for you to build a foundation of who you want to be. And if you know who you want to be, it'll all work out. The thing about the phone is like, you just got to be in the present moment. Because sometimes the phone will take you too far in the future. It'll take you too far in the past. You know what I mean? But you got to be in the present moment and realize, like, okay, everything is about the moment. Like, this is a moment right here. This is history, you know? So we want to capture this. We got cameras all around us right now. You know, we got our cell phones, people on their cell phones right now. Some people dialed in, some people ain't dialed in. But that's on them. They got to realize what moment they in. Because 10 years from now, people might not realize we gonna be on the biggest stages. We gonna be leading this next generation. And every person who was in this crowd right now gonna say, I was there in that moment and I got it on my phone. So like, remind yourself, the phone ain't just there to be scrolling and looking at funny things, and it's there to entertain you, but it's there to capture the moments. So stay focused on the moment, be in the present. That's for me.
Yeah, for me, it's all about time management. I don't really see it as a negative at all. If you know how to manage your time, I think anything that is pleasing, you have to do it in a certain kind of regiment kind of way. You can't abuse anything that is good. So it's networking. It's talking to people. It's communicating with people that you may not been able to talk to every day because they're so far away, family. It's nothing bad about it. It's when you abuse it. And I think some people abuse it because they ain't nothing to do, so you're gonna be on your phone all day and you're wasting time all day. If you use it in a way and you're disciplined, which is the most important thing I feel like in life is discipline. If you can maintain a certain kind of discipline when it comes to doing what you have to do, and everybody doesn't have the same goals. Right. So everybody's not on social media selling something or giving you music or you know. So people have different reasons they on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Focus on what you're doing, and take social media and use it for whatever you want to use it for. But just remember, what you got going on is more important. And but also it's crazy because then you also use it to support your friends and what they have going on. So you kind of want to be dialed in that way. It's really just finding a way to use it in a way that still reflects your lifestyle, and you can still do other things you got to do, but not be too distracted where you're not getting your things done. Just be successful in whatever success is to you.
Facts.
Yeah, that's facts.
What about you, Kyle?
What was the question again?
Social media. How does that define how you are a young king that you are, senior in McCain High School? How does social media, which I know you're on, how does that affect and define how your kingship?
It don't define me, but I look at it as all good vibes. As long as ain't nobody politicking nobody, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said, support my friends on that. Like repost they pictures, music, basketball vids, all that. Ain't nothing too crazy though. It's all good vibes though.
It's definitely good vibes. It just shines a light for real.
You might catch a couple Johns on that John too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that works too. That works too. It shines a light on whatever is going on.
Yeah,
It's just a light. And I think the reason why people think it's so bad is because when you shine light on things, you see the truth in it.
Right.
You know, you turn the lights on, you're gonna see what it really is. So I think with social media, we see what it really is. You know, we talk about police brutality, right?
Yeah, facts.
Like for a second, everybody was ignoring it like it wasn't happening. Now we got social media, and as soon as it happened, boom, it's online. Boom. Now it's real again. Oh yeah, you can see it. You shine the light on it, and it's negative, but it is also positive that we're able to see that because okay, now we can wake up again. Let's wake up again.
Yeah.
It shines the light on all the goods and bads. So I mean, it's a tool, but just don't abuse the tools. Don't drink too much.
Yeah.
Don't. It's just plenty of things you shouldn't do too much. You know, don't do nothing too much. Just do enough.
Yep.
I agree with you, Kai. 100%. It's all about what you make it. You can make social media positive. If you want to make it negative, it can be negative. But if you want to make it positive, it can be the most positive thing ever. It's all in how you handle it. And another thing, Jet, what you were saying earlier, talking about your team and how everybody on your team is kings. That's another thing about social media. You know, if you got friends and you got a team that you're associated with, like, you should be supporting your friends and your team and the stuff that they're doing more than people that you don't even know at all. That you're reposting their stuff.
I agree with that.
But you know, your team, you should be building each other up, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. It's like with Jeff Phoenix Films, we have a culture of resharing and comment and liking. So if I post something, everybody on the squad comments, likes it, shares it. If somebody else on the team does it, we all do that. It's just an automatic thing. It's part of the culture. It ain't even like something. It ain't even a question that we talking about. You know what I mean? And then anybody in our, because to me it's like I don't care how many likes I got, how many comments I got. It's literally what my team is showing that how we moving. You know what I mean? Like to me it's like long as my squad is there and everybody's supporting from our squad, then I'm good. I'm you know what I mean? That's what it's all really about. It's just making sure that the team is moving as one, for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy because what you're saying is exactly what I be preaching. Back the culture that me and my guys have is the same exact way. Like I don't care where your show at, we making it and we all coming and we gonna get the sprinter and we going down there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's supporting the people around you. You gotta support them hard. You know, I don't want to play other people's music. To be honest with you, I'm listening to my music, my friends' music, and I don't. If it ain't us, then it ain't nothing. Unless you become one of us, and it's easy to do that. You just gotta say, "Yo, we a part," and then we move the same way. You know, it's a community, it's a culture, and building that culture within your friends, it helps everybody become a king in some way because everybody starts bouncing off of each other. It's important.
You ain't too many people like that though.
Yeah, but everybody's kind of scared and nervous to do it.
They're scared to do that.
You know, you got to kind of be a leader. If you run your friends and they just like, yo, let's pull up. Let's just support each other. Don't be scared to do that with your friends. You know, sometimes it makes you feel a little uncomfortable because you know especially at a young age, you little insecurities. You're not really sure where you are yet in life. If you got to be that person to be like, hey, yo, we got to get here, and this is how we get here, and be that person. And then everybody follows suit. They follow suit because the right thing is in us. It's in everybody. You know what I mean? Supporting each other is it's like a human characteristic.
Yeah, it just starts with you first. That's what I mean. Like, it wasn't something I had to really even say. It was just like, from my team, it was just like, I was just automatically doing it. And then they just picked, they picked up on it, you know what I mean? And then once they seen that, like, it's like, Jet always sharing my stuff. He got all the followers, all the views. I got like 100 followers.
And
like,
he's still sharing my stuff.
He's still sharing my stuff. He's still putting it out there. So it was just like, once they seen that, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do that for him. Because people will match energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Energy real.
Absolutely.
You know, you really gotta understand that energy is real. If anything y'all can take from today is understand energy real. So if you putting out this type of energy, it's gonna reflect back. So,
but him saying that though, don't do it because you want the energy back.
Yeah,
do it from the goodness in your heart.
Exactly.
It's gonna come back, but it might not come back the way you think it's gonna come back.
Yeah,
it might come
exactly.
back in a different kind of way. When you put energy out, it's not a direct link like boom, boom. Sometimes it's boom, and maybe they didn't catch it, but it's still lingering. It's gonna come back to you. Like,
Might come back years later.
Definitely.
Something you do for somebody can come back. Yeah, that's happened to me. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, yo, I remember you did it, and you gave me some money, and I didn't even have it, and then they blessing me. You know what I'm saying? That's happened to me. Yeah, do it from the goodness of your heart. I hear a lot of people say all the time. I always tell my friends, they be like, man, I did this for him, and he ain't even did it. Don't worry about it. You did it for you. Don't do it for him. Do it for you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come back.
You just never know. I mean, I had a situation when I'm up here shooting videos, and then I get a phone call out of nowhere from, I don't even want to say exactly who the person was, but from Rock Nation. And it was like, yo, we've been watching you for 3 years. I was like, for real? It's like, yo, Jay and then want to meet you. Come up to the office. And I'm like, all right, bet. So for a whole full year straight, I was doing all this content for Rock Nation on the low with an NDA. If anybody knows what an NDA is a non-disclosure
agreement.
You know what I mean? So nobody knew all the content for a whole year that was coming out Rock Nation was through me. And I kind of sat back, you know what I'm saying, and realized the blessing, because it wasn't like, do I need people to know? You know what I mean? And then after that whole year, the person that actually put me in that position ended up getting fired. So I wasn't able to move forward. So I was like, okay. I went back to the drawing board, start focusing on the things that I wanted to focus on. And then 3 years later, now Sherry, the vice president of Rock Nation, called me up and was like, yo, Jet, I heard about your situation 6 years ago. Now we want to bless you with an opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So you just never know how things is going to pan out. Even if you think you got what you wanted. You know, some situations will still curve you, but you still got to have hope, and you still got to still stick to who you are and stay focused, and never give up on your dreams.
Kind of like when they tell you in football, when you're running, don't stop chopping your feet.
Yup.
You know what I mean? You might not feel like you're going somewhere, but if you're gonna go somewhere, you're gonna break. You know, don't ever stop chopping your feet. No matter what's going on, just keep chopping.
Keep chopping.
Nice. Now, Jet spoke on this a little earlier, a little bit, but I want to touch on it a little more with you, brothers. How as being a king in 2022, how is that different than a king back in the day? You gave an example earlier, Jet, about technology, but expound on that a little more. Like, how is it different in 2022 compared to, you know, being a king in the 60s or something like that?
I don't think any of us knows that. But I do think I think it's more complicated now. I think and I think the definition of a king has changed over time. It's expanded. I think back in the day there were a lot of respectability politics associated with it. You had to wear a suit, you had to wear a tie, you had to be from the church. You know, there were a lot of particular things that existed to be a leader even. Now I think it's different. We have a lot of different shades, hues, and we have a lot of different forms and different people we can look to be a king rather than back in the day. And that's to take nothing away from them, but it's just to say that we have expanded who we are and how we define ourselves. I think it's not through a European lens either, by the way. You know, I think a lot of that was through what we thought white people would feel is respectable, not necessarily what we regarded in our own communities or in our own minds even. So that's the big difference now. And I think that, we have business kings, kings in business, kings in media, kings in filmmaking, kings in sports, entertainment. And I don't think that we should limit ourselves or even just aspire only to be a rapper, for example, because there's just so many other places to go with it that are just equally, respectable.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you said is what it is. Because, only thing I could add on to that is like accessibility and resources. Now, I would say from that time point from them, like they didn't have all the resources and the access that we have right now. We have the access to like do anything we kind of want.
Yeah, like even in school, we're sitting right here in front of like
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, five cameras are in
It's
this.
a moment. That's what
right.
I said.
Yeah, for real.
This is history. This is moments. Like this is things that people used to dream about.
Absolutely.
And didn't even think it could ever happen. Right. We go back to Martin Luther King's the dream.
They had to get sprayed with hoses to get on TV.
We fighting different battles though.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a different battle that we fighting. We trying to get to the same place, but it's different battles. The war is still going, but we battling different things.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a situation where I don't know if it's easier or harder because I was in that time, but it's definitely more. It's unique. Like you have to just kind of find your way to make an impact and whatever that is. And there's so many different ways, like you said, to make an impact. I wanted to touch on too, also doing what you want to do.
That part.
It's important to do what you want to do. I think a lot of people do what they feel like they have to do, or what is put in front of them to do. Do what you want to do what you love to do. I knew I was going to be a boxer when I was 10 years old. I knew I was going to be a rapper when I was 11 years old. I had that dream when I was that young. When I was in high school, my teacher said, well, what happened if boxing don't work? I said, it's impossible, because boxing is going to work. Come and make it work. Well, you want to be a music artist, everybody do music. Well, I guess I'm doing music. I'm just doing what I love to do. And you wake up every day happy and motivated every single day to do what you want to do. Don't let people define what you have to do, and don't be discouraged because people do what you want to do, what you want to do. Just because there's a million other basketball players don't mean that you can't be one too. Just do what you love to do. You'll be happy with the results if you really do that. Not put all your eggs in one basket, but you almost got to sell out for your dream. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be all in. And if you fall, trust me, you recover.
Yeah.
You will.
You can't count the cost.
Yeah.
You can't count the cost. That's like you just, like he said, you go all the way. Everybody got their own specific DNA coding. None of us is alike. We, you know what I'm saying, to an extent we all human, but everybody got their own way. They're gonna grab this bottle, they're gonna drink, do things. So just know that, and if you know that part, then there's room for everybody. There's room to make it. It's just your belief. It's how much you put that work in.
So many lanes. It's so many opportunities.
So many.
Yeah. It's not just Lil Baby.
No.
There's rappers eating and making money that you don't even know about.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. You never heard of me as a rapper. I got hundreds of thousands of streams, and you know what I'm saying? There's lanes where you can do what you want to do. If you want to be that. Now say you want to be I don't know, maybe a lawyer, and it's real hard to be a lawyer. But if you love that opportunity, you got to go for it. You can't say, "Oh man, it's gonna be. I got to go to grad school, and then I got extra years, and then everybody. A lot of people don't make it, and then the schools they don't really like people that look like me, and you got to go for it."
Yeah.
Kai mentioned something important. You got to go for it too, but you also got to find your lane. Like we were talking about Jake Paul earlier, and I don't really like to bring him up because from a boxing perspective, it's kind of a
Disrespectful.
Yeah,
It is.
It's disrespectful.
It
It's
is.
disrespectful for
It's
sure.
a gimmick.
But he created
A
a
lane.
situation
He
where
did.
there was no situation.
Facts.
And the rules are sometimes a constraint, you know what I mean? And it can restrict you. So I'm not advocating for that because I'm a real boxing fan, but I will say that he has changed the game in that respect to where it becomes more of an entertaining factor.
And
or
I'll speak
whatever.
on that too, because I'm a boxer.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's getting to that bag. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with making it happen for yourself. There's certain ways you can go about things if you sit down and you think them through. I think one day he sat down and said, listen, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. He had a game plan to do it.
Yep.
It's many ways through the door. You know, he's not a boxer to me, he's an entertainer. And that entertainment comes with, you know, being able to do whatever you want to do. And that's the world we live in. With all the things that we have available to us, all you have to do is be somebody, and you can do anything. So whatever that is to do, and then whatever, you know, strikes your heart to do so, you know, don't do nothing that you don't want to do. Now, don't sell your soul, but you got to sell out for your dream. You know what I'm saying? So do what you could live with.
Yeah, and I seen something the other day that said, don't lose your daydream. You know,
I
like-
posted that.
You did? Well, that was from you then.
Yeah, I posted
Yeah,
that.
thank you. I know I seen it from somebody. Thank you, Chuck. But whatever, you know, life brings you, you got different things. You got to handle for the moment, but don't never lose focus on that daydream you got. Because, you know, that could be the big thing that takes you over the top. You might have to do little things to get by for the moment, but that daydream right there, don't forget what you love.
Or it could run you right into something great.
Yeah.
you
I was
go.
gonna say
Like,
the
it don't-
the
it-
pivot can. the pivot-
It's not always. You can. I want to be an NFL player. Boom, I'm going hard every day. Da, 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 da. I hurt my leg. You still, all the information that you gather from trying so hard to be an NFL player, you could be a coach. You could be a
Yup.
mentor. There's other things that you can do with your process. You know, the process is in the game. Like getting to where you get, wherever that is, the top level, wherever you get, it comes with information, and the information everybody needs. And you can pass it on to the next people behind you, and then that comes with job opportunities.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I started out doing music first, and I got signed at 18 to Disney, and I went from Disney to Sony to Interscope Records. I was traveling the world doing music 24/7, like, and working behind the scenes, helping other artists, you know, craft their looks and their imagery and their brand out. And the whole time I'm thinking about, well, am I going to be a big star? Am I going to be out there? Am I going to be on the covers and stuff like that? But God had a different plan. He was just like, okay, cool. I want you to learn all this knowledge. I want you to learn everything about the industry, the game, artist development, all this. And then, boom, out of nowhere, I'm sitting there as an artist. I'm starting to fall in love with the process of, like, when it was time to shoot music videos for me or Brandon. So I'm sitting in there with the editing room watching the dude edit the music video. I'm like, yo, how you do that? How you do that? He's like, it's like this. Oh, he's like, oh, here's my camera. You want to play with it? Oh, yeah. All right, cool. I'm messing around with the camera. Like, didn't even realize what was happening. You know what I mean? I was just going through the motions, but I was intrigued into it. And then when a day came, I was like, all right, you know what? I want to shoot my own music video. And then I shot my own music video, and out of nowhere, that video kind of didn't do the numbers that I thought. But then I saw the email. I was like, who shot that video for you? I was like, oh, I shot it. Could you shoot me a video? And then I saw the email hit again. And then now I got 100 people requiring music videos from me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go take this video thing. I still love music.
Ran right into it.
I ran right in, you know what I'm saying? It was just there. And I just took it and I just ran with it. And now I'm able to, like, then everything, all my industry relationships, the labels started reaching out. I was like, yo, we know you had artist development. Could we send you an artist and you kind of mold them and give them the direction, their style and their imagery? Because we know you learned all that. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. So now I'm a consultant working with the record labels. You know, now I'm not only shooting their music videos, I'm cultivating their brand. This is what I had the chance I don't like to say it too much, but if anybody know my biggest story, a lot of people don't know that I was the one who cultivated Lady Gaga's brand. You know what I mean? Like, the whole time I'm running with Lady Gaga all over the world. You know what I mean? Showing her the game. Watching her become the biggest star.
That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and then it's not just her. It's working with the Yays, working with the Futures, working with a bunch of different people out here crafting their brands. Just help Mulatto get where she needed to be. You know what I mean? Like, behind the scenes. So you just never know how the game gonna play. But at the same time, I still love music. I still want to do music. That's why I like multifaceted artists and creators that do multiple things, like my man right here. When he telling me, like, yo, we shooting. Me and him already talking about this. We shooting in the next 2 weeks, right? We working.
Yeah.
We about to go. We about to show up. Not only is he multi-talented in music, but he's also multi-talented in boxing and vice versa. That go hand in hand. Now he come out on the shows, he rapping his songs, taking boxing to the next level with entertainment. I see it. That's gonna happen. That's why I say this is a moment.
No
So
doubt.
what motivated you?
What motivated me? Well, there's two things that motivated me. One was my father. My father got throat cancer when I was 9, and they had to remove his vocal cords, so he couldn't speak. But he didn't let that stop him. You know what I'm saying? He still pushed to be who he wanted to be. And he told me, and the cancer came back right before I got my deal. I ain't even have no like rap name or nothing. So he was just like, yo, the world didn't, on his deathbed, he told me the world didn't get to hear me, make sure they hear you. So right then and there, I'm sitting with my man, like your age right now, sitting in my man's basement. He's like, you gotta come up with a rap name. And I was like, I don't even got a rap name. So he's like, you know what? He's like, it's like you need to take off. I'm like, yeah, like a jet. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yo, but I said, but I don't know if I really want to be called Jet. And he's like, yeah, I know, man. He's like, you got to do this for your dad, man. It's like you rising from the ashes like a phoenix. So I was like, oh, Jet Phoenix. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that moment was everything that birthed me. Next thing I know, I bumped in out of nowhere. I bumped into my first manager because he saw me grinding, pushing mixtapes hard. Next thing I know, I bumped into his business partner, Greg, who gave me a shot, put me in front of Puffy. You know what I mean? Like, Puffy was about to sign me and everything because of Greg. You know what I mean? Like, and next thing I know, that's when Kanye walked in my life. And then Kanye was like, yo, I'm going to put you on a record. I'm going to have you open up for me. I'm also going to introduce you to Lupe Fiasco. I'm going to have you all out there working. And then it's just been motivation. It's just the doors, man. Like, but you gotta have purpose. I think God rewards people who have purpose and understand their why. I got a why. My why was to not make sure people heard my music, but to inspire. I'm here to inspire you, to inspire every artist to be great. That's my why. And I'm gonna continue doing that until my last breath, until I inspire the whole world to be great.
Nice. Well, we're going to take some questions from the audience, some of the students. Chandra is going to get some questions from the students.
While they're doing that, I wanted to say this. You know, it's funny. I was in the gym the other day, and I was working out. Yeah. You actually inspired me the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I'm coming." When you came from the gym, I was, yeah, let me hit the gym. You know what I mean? But I've never actually worked out with anybody in my whole life except my daughter. My daughter and I work out together. But that's it. But my point is like when you talk about motivation, I'm gonna say that anybody that does anything in life, I say a good 90% and up is your own self-motivation. Yeah. Like really pushing yourself every day. I like to live by art of inches, right? And the art of inches to me is every day you do something. It might just be that 1 inch, but you're like 1 inch closer to where you're trying to go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's no overnight success. It's gonna be over time. Even if you're young, even if you're 10 years old, that journey from 10 to 20 or whatever you flip to a professional is a journey. You know what I mean? Right. My journey started in the 1990s, but what people don't really understand is that I started out as an artist myself, and then eventually real world issues started to arise, and you had to start to pick and choose what you wanted to do career wise. But by that time I had honed my skills. Even when I played basketball, like basketball taught me how to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like literally taught me how to deal with disappointment and loss and things like that. My father passing away, that taught me how to cope with
Persevere.
and persevere.
Yep.
See, I never used a rap name.
Right.
I always used my name because my dad was my name. I'm a junior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always used my own name because my dad was never recognized by the world. So
Right,
I said,
makes
I'm
sense.
going to use my name to make my dad's name known.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because my name, Shut It Down, comes from church. One time I was in church and the pastor was like, "Yo, shut down all the things that's in your life that get in your way." You know what I mean? Like, if this is in your way, get it out your way. If this is stopping you from getting where you need to go, get it out your way. And that resonated with me, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna shut it down. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
You know
That's
what I'm
heavy.
saying?
That's
And-
heavy.
And she was preaching, and she, church get all crazy. You go to a black church, they going,
Yeah,
I'm like, man,
talk about
this is. I'm not hearing this for no reason. Started making shirts. People started calling me it. So it's crazy when you think about your name. It's important,
Serious.
What you call yourself is important.
I ain't even gonna get into Jigsaw. That's another day. That's another day.
Well, while we're still waiting for the questions, I wanted to ask, we hear this term a lot of times, when something bad happens, they say, I blame it on the OGs, stuff like that. So us as we're considered the older generation especially these high school students, how can we do
Call
better?
me. Oh, I ain't. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say. I said we're older than the high school students. You're way younger than me. You know what I'm saying? But how can we, as the older, semi-older generation, what can we do better to help the next generation of kings in their fight?
I think we have to take our time with our young people and listen a little bit more than we talk. Really listen. Like we actually took a little bit of time to listen, but also Jet, had some words to advise. This young king here, and I think that's the important thing, to really listen and dial into where they are in their lives and be able to identify or at least try to. I don't have a son, but I have a daughter, and I really take time to know, or at least try to know, where she's coming from. And then I give her my wisdom in addition to that. Because they're really, I listen to young people because they have so much to offer. And if we could all go back and advise our younger self, I bet every one of us would do something different because you learn so much. So I think that it's got to be a hybrid approach, a wisdom approach, but it's a give and a take.
Yeah.
I surround myself by a lot of young people, man, because especially now with the changing of technology, the early adoption, I'm an early adopter. I've been on the internet for, damn near when it started, for real. Pardon my, I don't know whether, I'm a young kid with that. But yeah, so I'm an early adopter, but I'm less and less becoming an early adopter. I literally just got on TikTok last week or something. You know what I'm saying? But my point is it's not the old day where you sit and teach somebody and then they, you know what I'm saying? It's a two-way street now.
Right.
And that's, even in school systems, we have to learn it's a two-way street now. You can Google presidents, you can Google Hiroshima, you don't need
Pop up.
right.
A couple seconds.
I always say, I hate the term role model because everybody makes mistakes. I just try to be an inspiration to the younger people.
Yep.
And when I say younger people, I'm talking about people that I actually know. My little brother. I'll be like, he see what I'm doing. He like, okay, I gotta step it up. Or anybody that's around me, man, I know I gotta step. I know if I'm doing something, they gonna want to step it up. So I'm around you. If you ever be around me, you gonna see how hard I work, and you gonna see, you know what I mean. I might give you a couple of things that maybe you need to work on, and you know what I mean. I'm gonna take you with me. You gonna go running with me. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I think for me, I'm not 40 yet. But I ain't 17. Yeah, exactly. But I ain't 17 either. So
Right.
I'm in that ground where I'm showing and proving. So what inspires me is that I know the more I do, the more my little brother gonna be like, man, the more I gotta get to. It's like now I'm setting a bar, and I'm trying to raise that bar so he can want to do more and do more. Now when he do stuff, man, he like, man, I wasn't nothing because look what you doing. You know, like I need to do that. You know what I mean? I need to have that. How I get that? When he listens to my music production, he be like, I can't record in my room no more. How do I get it to sound like that? Or the video, how I get it to sound, how I get it to look like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm a father, son and daughter, and you got to come into their world. You have to come into your world.
Yeah, it's definitely a mentor collaboration for me. You know what I mean? There's moments when they're like, when you gotta, like you said about listening, you know, because you gotta meet them where they at, really, you know. And I have a son, and for me to understand what he likes and wants to do, I can't expect him to be fully like me. I gotta go where he at, and when I go meet him where he at, then I watch and observe how he moves, and then if there's something that I need to come in and correct, I come and correct it from the back end. But I also show him compassion to what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And I explain. I try to instill confidence with my critique, because that's sometimes what younger people they get this pointed feeling like, oh, you're talking down to me, Phil, so that they don't want to listen. So it's more so like, nah, how can I build you up, inspire you, and then come in with more of compassion on my critique. Like, yo, like, if there's a situation, I'm like, hey, like, if right now, I'm gonna keep it a bean. We got kids right now out here just talking, you know what I mean, in the audience, right? And it's cool, but they missing the gems.
But check this out. They want to ask
They
questions.
want us to get to the crowd.
I thought we ready. Go ahead.
We were waiting. We were ready already, but now we're ready. We're ready to go to the crowd and get some questions from the students.
All right, so I got a question for Jet Phoenix.
Your name and your
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Tremaine, I'm 15. Throughout your journey on the road to success.
Hold on, guys. I can't hear what he's saying. Go ahead.
On the road to success, how has this journey been throughout the 15 years you said you've been in this culture?
Off the top, just blessed, bro. Just staying focused, keeping God first, and trusting my team and keeping the right people around me.
I'm 17. I have a question for Chuck. How did you meet Jay-Z?
How to meet Jay-Z? I met Jay-Z because my company is a groundbreaking company. We blaze trails, and Jay-Z noticed my company first. And we pioneered a number of things. I'm not gonna run that down, but long story short, he respected the work. And afterwards, he found out who was behind the company. So Jay-Z had a business interest in us, which did not work out. He wanted to buy the company, and what we were looking to get, he did not want to pay. But the respect has always been there. So if you look through the years, I have numerous pictures of Jay-Z when I was overweight. Then there's one when I was wearing a suit. Then there's one when I'm in the Picasso Baby video. Then there's the Rock Nation NFL deal video, and so on and so forth. So the shout out on Hot 97. So the respect has always been there. And so therefore, when I look to sell in a few years, Jay-Z's at the top of the list.
Good question, bro. Good question. Hello, my name is Brandon Marshall. I am 19 years old. With allowing your success throughout your journey, how was you able to maintain it and keep a level head?
I would say like understanding that you still got so much farther to go. So no matter like your accomplishments, you just gotta, every time you reach a new goal, you gotta make a new one. And you can't sit in that, you know, you can't just be happy with what you've done. So every time you get somewhere, make another goal, but you should already have a goal ready for the next one. Just keep your goals real high. Don't shoot low, and understand like when you get somewhere, it's another place you could take it. That's how it worked for me. Every time I get somewhere, somebody be like, "Yo, you killed that," and in my mind, I'm like, "That's not enough,"
My name is Theo, and I'm 18. How did how do you motivate yourself to in this career? Like, what's the motivation and everything? I don't really know how to put it into words.
My motivation is to be great. I used to work at a bank, I should add. I wasn't doing this the whole time. I worked at a bank, and during that time, I looked at it as an incubation period. I just put quotes all on my desk. I had pictures and things that visualizing where I wanted to be in life, what I wanted to do. And while I was at my job, I literally hustled my side hustle at my job because I knew I wasn't going to be here long. So like I said up there, I think all of us on this stage are self-starters, self-motivating. We have support systems to support that, but it has to come from yourself and doesn't have to all be done at one time. So you can do something small every day. If you're writing a book and you literally write a sentence a day, at some point you'll finish that book. If you want to lose weight, you can literally walk a mile a day, and eventually those miles or whatever will add up. So I encourage everybody to not try to just be the biggest whatever at one time. Just understand that sometimes and most times that journey is a one that takes some time.
I'm gonna pick it back real fast. Maybe like visuals, that always worked for me. Like putting something in my phone, like a championship belt, or whatever you want, it's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like even if it's just money, like if that's your goal and you want to rock for that, and that's gonna motivate you, let that be your motivator. So whatever your motivation, if it could be girls, that's your motivation. Just hey, let me get
Put your
there.
screensaver.
You know what I mean.
Make your screensaver what you visualize.
Yeah, visualize it, see it, write it down, talk to somebody, make it real.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep.
My name is Dashawn. I'm a CEO of Moolah Chaser Clothing. I have my own.
Say that again.
My name is Dashawn. I'm a 7-year-old CEO of Moolah Chaser Clothing. I had my own business for 2 years.
Okay.
How do y'all feel about young kings owning business, like motivation? What would you have to say to them?
First of all, I like the fact that you got your brand on.
Yeah, facts.
That's
it.
already.
That's it. That's what I was noticing.
You didn't even have to say your brand. I seen it already before you even said it. So that's great right off the top.
Thing.
I would say learn the fundamentals of business. When I mentioned I worked at a bank real quick, that predated my company. And I learned a lot. I hated that job, but I took from it what it needed to be taken from it. And I got so much out of that job. So I would say to you, whether or not you go to college or not, because everybody's not gonna go to college, you have to entrench yourself in good business. My company's been around for a long time, and that's mainly because we had good foundation business-wise. A lot of companies, most companies got a business within 5 years. If you wanna stick around, it's not gonna always be the best design, it's gonna be the best branding or the best business practice and the best personnel that you hire to support your vision.
And don't be scared to look for help.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? Don't be scared to look for help. If you can't do something, find somebody who know how to do it.
Yup.
You know what I mean? Just
Definitely
be
surround
humble.
Definitely surround yourself.
Can't do it
with,
by yourself, but you know what I mean?
With business-like people. If you like, well, one thing I always see a lot of creatives say, like, yo, I'm super creative, but I really don't understand the business side. You know what I mean? So if you can identify that, that's a good step. Now you got to go find that person to go help you, or you take that upon yourself to try to take that step towards that.
Awesome day to everybody. My name is Tremaine. I'm the leader of Born for Brothers mentor group here in this in the high school.
Thank you.
In the high school, in the community, I do mentorship advocacy for students, community members, youth all across the world. I just got a question for each and every one of you guys. What is the value and importance of your community and your brand in the community and connecting with like-minded individuals in the community? What does the community mean in value to you and your brand?
I think it's very important. Like I said earlier, I'm from the East Side. I grew up on the East Side of Wilmington, Delaware, and it's always a level of pride. It's almost like the people I grew up with. It's almost like kind of like high school. It's like we're a group of friends or a group of people that you grew up with. You're forever connected through growing through that experience, and just being back in your community and giving back. And even when bad stuff happens in my community, I don't feel good about it. Like, I want the best light to be shined on where I'm coming from as possible. So it always feels good when I can do anything, whether it's just little, being a part of something, giving back. It always feels good to me. And I think it's something that I always have to do personally, just for myself.
Absolutely.
I'll say I just rep it. You know what I mean? Just every time I do something, I rep it. You know, I'm on Showtime. They ask me a question. Wilmington, Delaware. You know what I'm saying? Rep it. For me, it helps build the community, help people have pride in where they're from because they know somebody else doing something great in their city.
All right.
Being here, for me, I had the opportunity, well, I did. I lived in LA. When you talk about filmmaking, it's either LA or Atlanta. So for me, it was like, why isn't it happening here in Delaware when Delaware has beaches, it has cities, it has the whole elements of filmmaking? So for me and my company, it made sense that I needed to put a flagship store right in the heart of the city, right on Market, and then start bringing filmmaking here to inspire others that they can do the same and they don't have to move anywhere and they can be right here.
Yeah, I got a question. You filmed in Delaware before? Huh? You ever filmed in Delaware?
Yeah, we did. We film a lot. We just actually wrapped up 2 movies here, and we're also bringing permits and giving jobs, opportunity, internships, all that.
Hello, my name is Carlos, guessing in San Francisco, and I just have a quick question. Do you guys have any YouTube channels that you had to start in order to practice for these kinds of podcasts?
Yeah, I do. All Hip Hop TV on YouTube.
I do. I'm gonna go first 'cause I got ADHD.
Go ahead.
For me, I have over 300.
Your closing gotta be 20 seconds.
All right. So traveling the world is lit. You know, have a great time meeting people. Made plenty of mistakes. Stayed out too long plenty of times. But I think that I've got to the place where I found a comfort zone, and I guess grinding is just in my soul. So it's just it makes it easier for me. What was your question? What was your question? What was your question? Oh yeah. So it's travel. So basically that's it. I'm gonna close with saying follow me on Kyle Shut It Down on Instagram, and that's it.
Yeah. Like he said, traveling the world is definitely lit. And you can follow me on social, and I have a YouTube channel that is dedicated to like creative. It's called Real Talk. It's all formatted to the type of things that you guys are wondering and questioning about. But follow your dreams.
Yeah, I'll say this to you guys. My dreams have, as a young person, the dreams that I had as a young person have all been fulfilled. Straight like that. If you're a high achiever, that's not enough. As an older person, a general in this game now, I have new dreams, new aspirations, and I will continue to do that. So I'll just say, man, stay focused, persevere, keep your eye on the prize, and you can do it, definitely. At Chuck Creekmer on all social medias.
Life is full of ups and downs. You're gonna go through life and downs, but that's all gonna build you and make you who you are as a person. But I just appreciate the energy, man. Thanks to everybody for coming out today.
Yeah.
Man, give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, clap it up for yourselves, bro.
1-4. My name is Thomas, and I was wondering, do you guys ever worry about the future generations of the Kings?
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that's a great.
That's why we're here today.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here today.
we worry a lot. I worry a lot
Same
personally,
here.
because I know who I was as a young person, and I literally dodged just about every pitfall you could imagine, and any one thing could have taken my life in a whole different direction. And I think that's why we're here. We want to try to instill something in you that we didn't have when we were coming up, and hopefully, allow you to try to stay focused, try to stay inspired, try to see the vision for your life and make it happen.
My mindset is always don't worry. So I'm not worried. I'm more proactive. So like if something's not happening and I feel like it needs to happen, I just try to do something to make it better. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm here today.
I am a king, committed to living with the vision to cultivate
and teach, lead, and provide and protect. I am a king, committed to
the vision of uplifting myself.
I am a king, committed to greatness. I am a king, committed to teaching and leading my people. I am a king, committed to providing and protecting my family and my community. I am a king, created by God with purpose. My power is limitless. My potential has no bounds. We are all kings, fathers, sons, and brothers, descendants of God. Individually, I am a king. Together, we are one village strong.
Raising Kings 2022, man. Well, it was a great day, fellas. We needed more time, man. It was a lot of great questions, a lot of great feedback that we got. I enjoyed myself. I want all y'all to give, I know we gave it before, I want y'all to take some time and give y'all information and how can people connect with y'all so when they see this later in the rebroadcast, they can connect with y'all and see y'all visions and see everything y'all got going on.
I'm Jet Phoenix. You can follow me. That's JETPHYNX on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and you can follow me there. Yeah.
You can reach me at Chuck Creekmer on all social platforms or All Hip Hop COM, All Hip Hop Com on everything as well, and YouTube, All Hip Hop TV.
Mm-hmm. Well, same here. KY shut it down on everything. You find me, if you put that name in, you're gonna find everything. Kyron Davis, if you look for my boxing stuff, but it's still gonna come up as Kai shut it down, so yeah.
Man, and Concert Crew Podcast, at Concert Crew Podcast. We really appreciate everybody. We really appreciate the hospitality at McCain High School. Everybody that, all the behind the scenes, everybody, the video, the audio, the whole team, which was students, which was also great to see the young people involved in the technology. It was great. This is a great setup. We went, shout out to everybody involved with Raising Kings, Chandra, One Village Alliance, Red Clay School District, everybody that took the time out to put this together. And this is something that we're gonna try to continue in the future and build off of, because it's always great connecting with the young people. So I know I can speak for myself, but I'm sure all you fellas enjoyed yourselves connecting with the young people today.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, this is Raising Kings 2022. Concert Crew Podcast. We here. We not going nowhere. Yo, Pito, hit us with the fader. We out.
All right, cool.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you too.
Appreciate y'all.